Minister of Finance hints to improvements in the foreign reserves situation. That's our top story in our Barbados Today morning news update for Tuesday, April the 3rd. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Minister of Finance Chris Sinkler has hinted that the country's foreign reserves situation is not as dire as some are suggesting. Speaking during his St. Michael Northwest constituency's kite flying competition and festival at Carlton Clubhouse yesterday, Sinkler said the commercial banks are not complaining of a shortage of foreign exchange. While declining to respond to speculation that the foreign exchange cover had further declined, Sinkler said the central bank will shortly update the island on the state of the economy.
For the time being, the country continues to function. People continue to be able to go about their daily business. Foreign purchases are being made. We have not heard the banks complaining that there is no foreign exchange in Barbados to conduct business. So, hint, hint.
In other news now, the family of 41-year-old Carson Atkins of Foster Hall in St. John, who perished in a road accident along Fore Road in the same parish on Easter, is struggling to cope with the death of their loved one. Atkins was the front seat passenger in a car which was being driven by 29-year-old Christopher Skeet when it collided with another vehicle driven by Kira Dean, 34, of Todd's Development, St. George. Yesterday, Atkins' aunt Sylvia Allman of Roche Village, St. George, told Barbados Today her nephew's death has left her offset.
I feel I feel hurt, you know, when you're hurt about something, but I'm very hurted about it.
And the distraught uncle, Joseph Hope, who did not want to go on camera, described Atkins as a role model in the community of Foster Hall.
And I think that he was quite a good mentor to the youngsters around here who frequent the area. As you see, it's a little communal here. And he tried to keep them in the straight and narrow way. He was that kind of person, you know, kind, generous, and supportive of the family generally.
Sandals Barbados is facing a possible lawsuit over the issue of beach access. Attorney at law and acting chairman of the Barbados Marine Trust, Lalo Hanuman, has written General Manager Ferry Zavinga, putting him on notice of the likely court action. In the letter dated March the 29th, Hanuman drew Zavinga's attention to an article published in Barbados Today on March the 22nd headlined, "That Beach is Mine," in which the attorney is accusing him of committing various false and defamatory statements. Of particular concern to Hanuman is that portion of the article where the Sandals boss is quoted as suggesting that Hanuman was not telling the truth when he contended that one of the hotel's security guards was armed with a baton during interaction with him on Maxwell Beach, Christchurch. So in order to halt any court action, Sandals Barbados has until April the 19th to tender a written public apology and to compensate the Barbados Marine Trust to the tune of $6,000 for alleged defamation. A St. John man is appearing in the District A Magistrates Court today on a murder charge. 42-year-old Adrian O'Brien Williams of Henley Land is accused of the March 23rd murder of Jaquil Small, also of Henley. Small was stabbed to death while at Regent Hill, the Pine, St. Michael. He later died in hospital.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust. Welcome back with news from the region now. An eyewitness has come forward with a different version of what transpired on March the 15th when 3 men who were said to be bandits were shot and killed by the police in Guyana. The eyewitness and his attorney held a press conference on Monday. Javon Vickery reports.
There are still unanswered questions regarding the gunning down of 3 suspected bandits on the Kingston seawalls on March 15 last, even though police are maintaining that the men were trailing a customer from a city bank. Family members of the 3 men are still, however, holding firm that the police's version of the story does not make sense. The eyewitness, Devon Light, recounted that on the day of the incident, he was on the roof of a nearby building. He recounted that he saw a police officer allegedly placing the driver of this black motor car to lie face down, after which shots rang out.
Police. The men in the black car come out first.
They were on the scene first?
Yeah.
And the shots were coming from their car? Did they
No.
fire the police?
The silver car is the police car.
Right.
The black car is what's not. And the car from behind start opening fire. I don't know if it's at the car or up in the air or what may be the case.
So did you see any exchange of gunfire? Did you see
No.
the men in the black car shoot at the police?
No.
Light recounted that there was no other cars in the vicinity on the day of the reported shootout. Attorney at law Nigel Hughes, representing the interests of the eyewitness, says he's at odds with the police's statement with regards to the alleged customer, even though Acting Police Commissioner David Ramnarine confirmed that it was an actual customer.
And on the international scene, South Africa's Winnie Mandela, the ex-wife of anti-apartheid revolutionary Nelson Mandela, has died after a long illness. The South African activist and politician died peacefully at her home on Monday, aged 81. We pick up the story in this Euronews report.
Hailed as the mother of the new South Africa, Winnie will be remembered for her fight against the apartheid state. Her uncompromising methods and refusal to forgive contrasted sharply with the reconciliation preferred by her then-husband, who worked to forge a stable, pluralistic democracy. Their marriage started to fall apart after he was freed from jail in 1990, and they divorced 6 years later. They had 2 children together. Nelson Mandela died in 2013.
Nelson Mandela.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.